Hey everybody, I haven't made a video like this in a while, and I hope it inspires you. The main reason I want to make this video is an act of worship to God and a reminder to myself, yes, I am replaceable. I know that. I've always known God could pick someone else to do this. I try my best to stay humble and just thank Him and just keep riding the wave of His grace that He's got me on. But I think right now would be an excellent time for me to just stop, count my blessings, share with you what God has done this year. I've been traveling full-time for about 4 years, but I'll just stick to this year. I'm very broken. I have cried myself to sleep several times lately, so I think it would be good to share with you what God has done just 2017. The year started off in Slovenia. I went over to Italy to preach. Came back, went to Graz, Austria, preached there, went to Salzburg, preached there, Munich, preached there, took a 5-hour bus ride to Munich, Germany, walked my bags alone across the border to France, spent the night in a hotel, got up early the next morning, walked back to Switzerland, got on a plane to Israel. When I got to Israel, I got the flu. But soon after that, God provided me a free doctor from a local hospital. I went out and preached the gospel, had turnips thrown at me, was kicked in the stomach, and I just kept preaching the gospel. Soon, I was on a plane to Russia, and then I was on a plane to Japan. God hooked me up with a great preacher in Japan, spent time there, and then I left and went to, where did I go? South Korea. I think that's what, yes, that's what I did. That's when I began fasting and praying, 100-day fast for my husband and my son. 1 meal a day. Preached in Seoul with a girl that barely spoke English. Went down to Busan, preached with a couple of guys that were awesome. Then I flew to Taiwan, preached against gay marriage. They legalized it anyway. God brought a young man there to preach with me. We're still friends. His name's Jay. Then I went, that was country 50. And I spent, my time in Taiwan was the anniversary of when God called me to preach, February 27th, 1999. So it was pretty cool being there for my 50th country. I went to the Philippines. Preached outside of the Catholic Church. Preached to a Muslim from Morocco. Then took a van a boat, got in a truck, and went in the middle of nowhere, Philippines, to stay for a few weeks. Preached with some incredible people. Dealt with a lot of roosters. And then I flew to Thailand. Had a couple of men in my face yelling at me, pushing me. And from Thailand I went to Hong Kong. I was there for a few weeks. And my original plan was to go to Australia after that. I had a plane ticket. I was determined to go to Perth, Australia, and preach with a young lady that is street preaching now. I wanted to go and be an encouragement in person. But God gave me a dream. And in the dream it was, don't go to Australia, go back to Japan for a month. Okay. So I trained some women preachers in Hong Kong. They bought me a phone as a gift. And I went back to Japan. Preached all over Japan. And then I went, back to Busan, South Korea. Had a lot of divine appointments. My friend had to go to the hospital while he was there. He's my son's age. And had surgery. But as soon as he got out of the hospital, he was preaching again. I love people like that. Warriors for Christ. We preached my last message outside of a place where people were harvesting seaweed. They were Buddhist, and he translated for me. It was a great memory. Went to the airport. Flew to China. Then flew to Los Angeles. I remember my pastor asking me when I got to California, he said, "Are you glad to be back?" Not really. I'm a missionary. I usually don't want to come back. And most missionaries don't want to come back. But we miss our friends, we miss our family. But I love the mission field. I've wanted to be in Europe since 2000. I used to weep over the German flag in Bible school. I used to be able to just touch the German flag, and I would weep. And then I would weep for Switzerland. I went from California to Chicago, Chicago to St. Louis, St. Louis to home, to see my family. My son picked me up at the airport. I remember being in the airport 1 o'clock in the morning and talking to a man that was head to toe tattooed. And my son just kind of stood back watching. He wouldn't get too close. He never knows what mom's gonna say. But my son took me to Walmart, bought me coffee, and it was nice being with my son. He's almost 27. And he took me home. Soon I was in Florida, spoke in a church. Was going to speak in 2 churches, but the pastor I was going to speak for ended up in a horrible car wreck. He hasn't worked in 10 weeks. But the message I was going to give him at his church was, the devil can't kill you until God gives him permission. Nobody can kill you without God's permission, period. Just can't happen because God's the author of life and death. So that was what I was going to preach. Went down to Atlanta, had a divine appointment in an Airbnb home with a young lady that was pregnant. She was very scared. I spoke words of life to her, the gospel to her. Got on a plane, went to Topeka, Kansas, preached in Topeka, Kansas. Felt the spirit of revival on me. I thought, man, this is a powerful anointing. I could see God using me in a revival. I left, went back to my hometown, went to be with the Atlanta Harvest Army. They blessed me. And then I got on the plane the next day for Ireland. See, I was adopted. My original name is Kimberly Page Collins. And the Collins clan is from Cork, Ireland. So I thought maybe I would get some answers about being a Collins. I didn't. When I ended up preaching in Cork, Ireland, there was a riot. I was surrounded by a bunch of youth wanting to attack me, attack my friends, and destroy my camera. That's what happened in Cork, Ireland. And then I ended up in Portugal for a month, from South Portugal to North Portugal. I didn't know anybody that had ever street preached in Portugal. So I wanted to go. America's got a lot of street preachers, and a lot of times they'll get all together, and then there's always somebody that has nothing to do. So I like to break away from the groups sometimes and go where nobody else is. I know that God has called me to be a forerunner, but I also want to train people. But anyway, it's extravagant and it doesn't make sense. I can't comprehend the way you love us. I went to Madrid and then Alicante, Spain, and then all over Italy, San Marino. And now I'm here in Bulgaria. From Bulgaria, I'll go to Serbia, to Macedonia, to Greece. To Cyprus, to Israel, to to the Netherlands for court. After that, I'm supposed to go to the UK, but I don't know. You never know if the UK is going to let me in. After that, I'm supposed to go to Slovakia, Austria, Finland, and then back to America, and that's 2017. And here I hold a stress ball with the world, because there's times world missions completely stresses me out. But what else would I do? Where else would I go? One time I wanted to quit. I've wanted to quit many times, but I remember Jesus saying to me, "You can't quit because you have my heart. You know what I want, Angela. You can't quit. You have my heart. You have my heart. You have my heart." God's heart is souls. God bless. Thanks for watching.